Hey, what is up, you guys? I'm going to show y'all some replays and a deck profile for my Invoked Cyber-Stein deck. That is right, I am doing some weird shenanigans. I actually played from gold to platinum with it in season 2. It's not like a super competitive deck, it is mainly for funsies. So I'm just going to say that right off the bat. This is the list I ended up with. An earlier list I was running a couple different cards, but this is the one that you'll see some plat replays for. One Eater of Millions, handle board problems. Also because you can use him to link into Reprodocus, which you can use to make Cyber-Stein into a psychic monster, equip with telekinetic charging cell, and then you do not have to pay life points to activate his effect. So you can basically just flood out whatever you want. Next up we have 2 maxx, draw power for our deck because we need a lot of that. 2 sangan to search for Cyber-Stein. Sometimes we use sangan as a dark fusion target for our invoked. Sangan just, he's okay for this deck since this deck is slow. 3 ash blossom and joyous springs to slow our opponent down. 2 witch of the black forest. 2 Alistar the Invoker. I might bump this to 3. 1 dogmatika ecclesia the virtuous. This card's great. Lets you search for punishment, which is spot removal basically. And you can special summon it out when you have a monster from the extra deck. So, great card in this deck. Might bump this to 2 in the future. Take out a sangan for it. 1 raigeki. 1 feather duster. Oh, also this is a macabre target. 1 monster reborn. 1 upstart. 1 terraforming. 2 invocation. 1 pot of extravagance. 1 performapal popperup to get rid of dead cards in our hand or just crap we can't use. 2 pot of prosperity. Got to be careful when activating extravagance or prosperity because sometimes you'll banish your extra deck cards. And you really want to keep at least 1 last warrior in there, or your opponent's spell and trap card heavy. 1 extravagance. Moving on, that telekinetic charging cell we mentioned earlier to combo with Cyber-Stein and reproduct. 2 magical meltdown. Meltdown lets you search Alistar. Alistar lets you search invocation. Meltdown also makes it to where the activation of your cards and effects that include the effect that fusion summons a monster can't be negated, and your opponent's cards and effect cannot activate when a monster is fusion summoned this way. So, pretty good. 1 called by the grave. 3 waboku, because sometimes we need it to not die. 2 dogmatika punishment. You banish a face-up monster from your extra deck, and you can just send 1 monster with higher attack. Sorry, you can send 1 monster with lower attack or equal attack on your opponent's side of the field to the graveyard. You can't special summon monsters from your extra deck until your next turn. You can only activate 1 dogmatika punishment per turn. Normally we send Ultimate Dragon because it can get over like 5,000 attack, 4,500 attack. Pretty much everything's wimpier than that. So we send that, and we're running 1 because we can also bring it out as a beat stick with Cyber-Stein. 2 Ice Dragon Prison. Target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field, its effects are negated, banish a monster from both players' fields that have the same type as each other. I've actually really liked this card because I've been able to pull off some sick plays with it and get rid of stuff like Herald and Drytron with it. Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, 2 Solemn Strike. Extra deck, 1 Invoked Caliga. Each player can only attempt to activate 1 monster effect per turn. Oops, I just boarded it out of my deck. +1, there we go. And each player can only attack the 1 monster per turn. So 1 effect, 1 attack, slows your opponent down until you can get more resources on the board. 1 Dark Balter. So when a normal spell card is activated, negate the effect by paying 1,000 life points. The effect of effect monsters that this card destroys as a result of battle is negated. Really fun to play with Cyber-Stein. Invoked Raigeki, once per turn. Quick effect, target 1 face-up monster on the field. Change it to face-down position. Decent. Last warrior from another planet. The main guy you're going to see me bringing out with Cyber-Stein. If it's destroyed, destroy all their monsters you control. Neither player can summon monsters, so unless they have spot removal or board removal, they're not going to get over Last Warrior. 1 invoked Purgatrio, 1 invoked Melancia, 1 Naturia Exterio. A fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials. When a spell or trap card is activated, you can banish 1 card from your grave, send the top card of your deck to the grave, negate the activation, and destroy that card. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. It's great to use with Cyber-Stein, Blue Eyes for the banish for punishment, and for the beat stick. 2 Alistar, Invoker of Macaroni and Cheese. Becomes Alistar on the field or in the graveyard. If a monster is fusion summoned while you control this monster, discard 1 card, add an invocation or book of law from your deck to your hand. If it leaves you the field because of your opponent's card effect, you can add an omega summon from your deck to your hand. Probably going to cut this to 1 and run more stuff in the fusion lineup. 2 of this dude. Pretty much have 2 in case 1 gets banished by extravagance. He has 2 monsters. You can declare a monster type. All monsters that he points to become that type. So, or you can do the same thing with attribute, but which can be useful for the invoked part of your deck, but I pretty much only use the declare monster type, make Cyber-Stein psychic, equip it with telekinetic charging cell, and then I can just go, oh, here's all my cards. And the best part is Makaba and the rest of the invoke guys, you can use Stein to bring them out. So Apollosa, 2 monsters with different names, except tokens. This guy, basically for each monster you put into him, gets 800. You can negate a monster effect on your opponent's side of the field by paying 800 of your attack, basically, and when he reaches 0, you can't negate anymore. But that's the deck. I'm going to get into some replays, and I really hope you enjoy this. I'm also going to kind of go into what I'm doing in these replays to give you a better explanation. This was a 13-turn game in Gold in Season 2 that I played. It's like late Season 2. We're talking like last week, pretty much. Or last week when I filmed this, at least. So, summon the thing, add the punishment, set punishment. I should have really only set 1 because I can only activate 1. I get blown out by the Duster anyway. So I activate the waboku, but I learned my lesson there. Like, I made a bad play. This person's actually playing Red Eyes, and we're like, lol, okay. So Witch doing work, raigeki doing work. And we're going to go ahead and search, and we say, oh, I like Cyber-Stein. They maxx, we don't care. And we're just going to say, last warrior, please. 1, please. Use Witch to get maxx. And now we're just going to wait. They can only set cards, so... No way out for you. We're going to ash it. And we just get to enjoy sitting on Last Warrior from another planet. Look at that. Just bam, 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 bam. So now that you've seen like the Cyber-Stein part of this deck, we're going to go over to our next replay, which shows a little bit more. I just like having that option though, and if Stein is dead in hand, then he can be discarded for pop-up later. Or you can just set him, your opponent might think he's the same hand. Okay, so our opponent is playing some weird stuff, because we see Hippo Carnival and Summoner Monk, and we ask ourselves, what year is this? They're going to even Cup of Asos. This was a really weird game. This is more so just to show, like, some of what Invoked does. Our opponent's on some weird shit though. Like, they're really searching for something. Okay, so terraforming, meltdown, and we get maxx, and we just say, okay, whatever. Meltdown, oh, we're not going to Alistar yet. Prosperity, there we go, we get the prison. And we go, okay, Alistar, and we'll just set 4 and do an attack. That's it. We get blown out by Feather Duster. And we're just like, damn, is our opponent playing 4D chess with us? Because we got blown out and now we're like, okay, we're right back in it, it's fine. And we're just like, that's okay, we'll make what's his face. And then I'm like, oh, we can only attack once per turn. Let's get rid of that. And now we're finally getting places. We pay the 5, we get the exterior, we say, you will not do anything else to us. And we go for game with the Stein. And now I'm going to show you the third replay, which is more meta adjacent, I feel. Okay, meltdown, invoker, invocation, set, and of course we get lightning storm. Like, this is a running theme, as all the back row always gets blown out every game we play. Unless I'm playing sub-terrors, because I have like all the negates. Well, we're just like, okay, Raid Raptors, do you want to take the maxx challenge? Take the maxx challenge. Go into Purgatrio. And we're just gonna keep doing things. And we get magic cylindered for some weird freaking reason. I don't know why I attacked there either, I'm an idiot. But that's okay. 1 monster effect per person, 1 attack per person, that's all you get. We're gonna Ice Dragon Prison. We're just gonna say no to their field, no to whatever they want to do. Make him big. And at this point, we're just doing like, we're just putting stuff on the board and doing things. And there's nothing they can do. They just get blown out by the invoked side of the deck. Which, you know, that's nice. And now we're going to get to our final replay, which is our platinum replay when we finally made it into plat. And this one's only 3 turns. I have no idea what happened in this. I just remember I saved this because it was funny. I was just like, oh. Oh, so we start with Stein. Okay. That's always a good sign. So our opponent's playing Tri. And we're just like, oh, you're playing Tri-Regage, I see. Here's this maxx. We resolve maxx, so are they going to take the challenge? They did not, which they probably should have. Oh boy, oh boy. Cyber-Stein, Last Warrior, and then we set the waboku. We're just like, yeah, that deck you have that likes to summon a lot, you can't do that thing, sorry. But that's it for the Cyber-Stein Invoked Dogmatika replay, the 1 Dogmatika card I'm playing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I want to do something more casual for this. If you guys liked it, leave a like down below, or leave a dislike, or a comment.